Have you ever felt off? Like something just isn't right, but you can't put your finger on it? You go to the doctor, run all the tests, and everything comes back normal. Your blood work is fine, your vitals are perfect, yet you're left with this lingering feeling of anxiety, brain fog, and a mood that just won't lift. This was Sarah's story. On paper, she was the picture of health. But inside, she felt like she was living in a constant haze. Her energy drained, her thoughts scattered. What if I told you the answer wasn't in her head, but deep within her gut? Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating connections in the human body, the gut-brain axis. It's a communication superhighway, a constant conversation happening between your digestive system and your brain. And at the heart of this network lies something truly incredible, the enteric nervous system, often called our second brain. Imagine a complex web, a neural network so vast it contains more neurons than your spinal cord, all woven into the walls of your gut. This isn't just a simple system for digestion. It's a command center. It operates independently, managing the complex process of breaking down food, absorbing nutrients, and eliminating waste. But its influence extends far beyond that. This second brain is a major player in your mood, your emotions, and your mental clarity. Think about it. Have you ever had a gut feeling about something? Or felt butterflies in your stomach when you were nervous? That's not just a metaphor. It's the gut-brain axis in action. This connection is physical, chemical, and profound. The vagus nerve, a massive nerve that wanders from the brainstem down to the abdomen, acts as a direct two-way data cable, constantly relaying information back and forth. Your gut is literally talking to your brain, and your brain is talking back. And one of the most important messages in this conversation involves a chemical you've probably heard of, serotonin. We often associate serotonin with the brain, calling it the happy chemical because of its role in regulating mood, happiness, and well-being. But here's the bombshell. Over 90% of your body's serotonin is actually produced in your gut, not your brain. Let's visualize this. Inside your gut lining are specialized cells called interochromorphin cells. These are the serotonin factories. When you eat, these cells sense the nutrients and the mechanical stretching of your gut walls, and in response, they release serotonin. This serotonin plays a crucial role in gut motility, the rhythmic contractions that move food along your digestive tract. But it doesn't stop there. This gut-produced serotonin also enters the bloodstream and influences functions all over your body. Now, the serotonin made in the gut doesn't directly cross the blood-brain barrier to act in the brain. It influences the brain through other pathways, including signaling via the vagus nerve. The gut is essentially setting the tone for your entire neurochemical landscape. So, if our gut is a serotonin factory and a second brain, what happens when we throw a wrench in the works? This is where our modern diet comes into play. Enter the world of ultra-processed foods, the sugary drinks, the packaged snacks, the fast food meals that are engineered to be hyper-palatable but are nutritionally barren. When these foods enter our gut, they don't provide the right fuel for our microbial allies, the trillions of bacteria that make up our gut microbiome. Instead, they feed the troublemakers. Unhealthy bacteria thrive on sugar and refined carbohydrates, leading to an imbalance known as dysbiosis. This imbalance triggers a state of low-grade, chronic inflammation in the gut lining. Picture the wall of your gut as a tightly woven barrier, a gatekeeper that decides what gets into your bloodstream. Inflammation damages this barrier, creating tiny gaps. This condition is often called leaky gut. Now, particles that should never leave the gut, like undigested food proteins and bacterial toxins, can seep into your bloodstream. Your immune system sees these as foreign invaders and mounts an attack, creating even more inflammation, not just in the gut, but throughout your entire body. This systemic inflammation is a major driver of modern disease, but its effect on the brain is particularly devastating. Inflammatory signals can travel to the brain, disrupting normal function and contributing directly to feelings of anxiety, depression, and that persistent brain fog Sarah was experiencing. The very foods designed for convenience were inflaming her gut, which in turn was inflaming her mind. The connection is direct and powerful. The gut, in distress, sends SOS signals to the brain, and the brain responds with anxiety and low mood. It's a vicious cycle. The more stressed and anxious you feel, the more it can negatively impact your gut, and the more your gut is inflamed, the worse your mental state becomes. But here is the beautiful empowering part of this story. Just as the wrong foods can harm this delicate system, the right foods can heal it. This is where the journey back to health begins, with the simple, profound power of whole foods. Imagine swapping that processed snack for a handful of berries, bursting with antioxidants that fight inflammation. Picture replacing that sugary soda with a glass of water or a cup of herbal tea. Think about a plate filled with vibrant colors, leafy greens, bright red peppers, deep purple cabbage. These aren't just foods, they are medicine for your gut. Whole foods, especially those rich in fiber, are what your good gut bacteria crave. Fiber is prebiotic, it's the fertilizer for your inner garden. When your beneficial microbes feast on fiber, they produce amazing compounds called short-chain fatty acids, like butyrate. Butyrate is a superstar. It's the primary fuel source for the cells lining your colon, helping to repair that leaky gut barrier and seal the gaps. It's potently anti-inflammatory, calming the fire not just in the gut, but throughout the body. And these short-chain fatty acids can also communicate with the brain, influencing mood and cognitive function in a positive way. Let's follow Sarah's journey of healing. She started small. Instead of a complete overhaul, she began by adding one new whole food to her diet each day. It's an apple here, a side of steamed broccoli there. She swapped her morning pastry for oatmeal with flax seeds and blueberries. She started cooking simple meals at home, focusing on lean proteins, healthy fats like avocado and olive oil, and a rainbow of vegetables. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, things began to shift. The constant low-level anxiety started to quiet down. The fog in her mind began to lift, replaced by moments of clarity. Her energy levels stabilized. She started sleeping more deeply and waking up feeling more refreshed. It wasn't a quick fix or a magic pill. It was the result of consistently nourishing her body, her microbiome, and her second brain. She was feeding the trillions of allies within her, and in return, they were creating the chemicals that helped her feel calm, focused, and happy. The inflammation subsided. Her gut lining began to heal. The conversation between her gut and brain, once filled with distress signals, became a harmonious dialogue. Sarah's realization was profound. Her mood wasn't just a state of mind, it was a state of her gut. Her anxiety wasn't just a psychological issue. It was deeply rooted in her biology, influenced by every bite of food she took. This understanding was incredibly empowering. It meant she wasn't a victim of her moods. She was an active participant in her own well-being. Your body is an interconnected ecosystem. The health of your mind is inseparable from the health of your gut. If you're struggling with mood, anxiety, or brain fog, and the usual avenues haven't helped, maybe it's time to look deeper. It's time to listen to your gut. Start by feeding it well. Nurture your inner garden with real, whole, unprocessed foods. The journey to a calmer mind and a happier life might just begin at the end of your fork. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration of the gut-brain axis. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the science of well-being. What's one small change you can make for your gut health today? Let me know in the comments below. See you next time.